野球界を震撼とさせた大谷選手の右肘靭帯損傷のニュース。打者としては出場できる程度の損傷とのことですが、トミー・ジョン手術は必要で投手としての出場は当分先になるでしょう。今季は大谷選手とエンゼルスを応援すると公言していたリッチ・アイゼン氏が、このニュースをすぐに取り上げ、非常に落胆しており自身の思いを語っていました。
I woke up this morning gutted when I heard the news that was revealed late last night on the Pacific Coast, and I'm sure a bunch of people on the East Coast woke up the same way to this news.
Yeah.
That Shohei Ohtani blew out his pitching arm. A torn UCL, and that right there, folks, is Tommy John written all over it. Now they're saying, that surgeries to come, but I guess sometimes we in the sports world can't have nice things. And to borrow a phrase from one of the best sports movies or books, because, The Natural was a book originally by the brilliant author Bernard Malamud. And it all is from the Black Sox scandal of Joe Jackson, apparently. But say it ain't so. Say it ain't so that Shohei Ohtani, in a doubleheader yesterday, pitches the opening game against the Cincinnati Reds and strikes out two of the first three batters he faces, and then steps to the plate in the bottom of the first and hits his 44th home run of the season to give himself a 2-0 lead. And it is something that, in so many different instances, think about it, how that would stand out. But now we just take it for granted. Oh, okay. So Ohtani hit his 44th home run, which leads Major League Baseball, and, with 10 wins already under his belt on the season, struck out two of the first three to give him 167 strikeouts on the season. And now you have to wonder, is this the last time we're ever going to see that? If he has Tommy John surgery, does this mean he might not want to pitch anymore? Because he's already had Tommy John surgery. That's the good news. 2018, this happened to him before. And he only came back and became the best player in baseball. But can he do it again? Does he want to do it again? Should he do it again? Oh, the conversation when he came from Japan. Enjoy watching him play in the field and then pitch every fifth day because he's not going to be able to do it. And he does it for 3 straight seasons. And now this happens.
To clarify, Rich, he can still hit, though, right?
Well, the amazing thing is he found out as he came out of the game in the second inning of the doubleheader yesterday, in between games, they find out that he blew out his elbow. They actually gave him the MRI or the test required. And he found out in between games that his right elbow is potentially blown out. There is, in fact, another tear in there on the UCL. And he goes out and he plays the second game. And he winds up on second base. And the infielders of the Cincinnati Reds are all around him. Ellie De La Cruz, who is without question, as you know, here on this program, we've been talking about him for ever, since the minute he came up. We're talking, he goes up to Ohtani, one of the greatest phenoms of the game, and he poked him on his left arm as if to say, are you for real? I just want to see if you're real. And they were bowing down to him, and Ohtani played along. He played along, knowing he had blown out his arm. And by the way, the Angels earlier in the day put Trout on the IL again. He's the team's general manager after the game.
A couple injury things to address, obviously, and Mike Trout's going to go back on the IL. So I tried to swing yesterday, didn't go well. So we're going to put him back on the IL, give him some rest, see where that goes. And obviously Shohei left the game today. We did imaging in between games. He does have a tear, and he won't pitch the rest of the year. So we're going to get a second opinion, go from there, but it's basically day to day. Obviously he hit. So, that's where we're at.
That's a UCL tear?
Yes. Yeah. So, again, I don't have, as far as plans and details, I don't have those yet. He's going to have been in contact with his representation. Obviously, he hit the second game. He's played with this in 18. So, but with that being said, we'll take it day by day and see where it goes. So, obviously, disappointing news. I felt terrible for him. But it is what it is, and if anybody can bounce back, it's him.
Perry Minasian sounding like he had just been gutted, just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
With the news. And Susie Schuster is here, and
Hey, Suze.
the first thing I said to you this morning, other than good morning, is Ohtani blew out his elbow.
I know.
And you were like, get out of here. And then I left for work thinking that's what you meant. But no.
I actually meant get out of here.
Yeah, like figured.
I was devastated. I was so bummed. Coop and I were set to go watch him pitch
Yeah, next week.
because nobody's more thrilling than him. But what I think is so crazy is, then he went out and he hit again. It's like,
What do you do?
name me a guy who's going to go out there and keep playing.
And again, play along with some playful opponents who have no idea he's just been told this news. You've blown out your arm again. And I understand the immediacy of what this means. This guy is truly one of the most special athletes on the planet. We're all wondering, are you for real? Ellie De La Cruz poked him. Are you even human? And this torn elbow proves, yes, he is human. And it's only human for us to, while we're gutted by this news, wonder, what does this mean for his free agency tour? He's going to have to be surgically repaired. I mean, one would think. And then what do you do? Do you throw $700 million at a guy who's coming off of Tommy John? Because he can pitch and hit for you? Are you gonna do that? If you're the Angels, do you sit there and just think? The rest of baseball, think about this sort of stuff. Obviously, you just saw the human reaction from Perry Minasian, the general manager of the Angels. Just be a human for the guy right now. Because that only also, by the way, is the right thing to do. It serves you well when you're trying to tell him, hey, the worst moment for you. Look at what we've done. And I understand that sounds maybe in first blush reaction, cold, calculating.
It's a business.
But that's the fact that he's the greatest free agent in the history of free agency. And I know what I just said coming. $700 million. Because take a look at what the best hitter and the best pitchers in Major League Baseball are paid. Put it all together and then toast it off a little bit something extra, because everybody in that stadium is wearing Ohtani jerseys, and all the signage in the stadium are international brands, which he personally is. What a remarkable way for this season for Ohtani to turn out. It's his walk year, all first half of the season long. We're wondering, does Ohtani stay? Is it possible he hits the trade deadline on the block? And the Angels perform well enough in the first half of the season to start pushing that to the side. Then Trout gets hurt just before the All-Star game. After which, without Trout, the Angels go on just enough of a run, string just enough of wins together to make it without a question that the Angels keep Ohtani. After which, they then have the bottom fall out from underneath the team, only to get Trout back for an impossible stretch run. He gets put on the IL because he's can't swing pain-free, and Ohtani blows out his arm and will hit free agency. With that as the backdrop, you can't make it up, and it's so unfair. Life is unfair. I get it. Sports is unfair. Unfortunately, get out of here with this news. You got to be kidding me. And if it is the last time we see Ohtani pitch and hit on the same day, just know this: he becomes the first player ever to have a season with 40 or more home runs and 10 or more wins. It's never been done. Period. Mic drop. I hope he picks the bat up, though, gets his arm taken care of, and comes back and shows, I'll do it again. Because I'd love to see it. That would make his unbelievable two-way talent that much more enjoyable to watch and another guy to root for, and be well.
このニュースを聞いて皆さん本当にショックを受けており、大谷選手への熱い気持ちが伝わってきました。アイゼン氏が最後におっしゃっていた、手術を受けまたバットを持って腕を治療しまた戻ってくることを願っている。そうすれば彼の信じられないような二刀流の才能がさらに際立つだろう。見ていて楽しいし応援して元気になる選手がまた一人増えたとの言葉。暗い気持ちから前向きになる素晴らしいコメントでした。今季は打者のみで出場するようですが、また復帰後は二刀流でさらなる活躍を期待します。